Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jay the Comedian. Good morning. How y'all doing? How am I doing? I feel good. Today's a pretty good day. And yes, before we even get started, this is an ExJw video. And you know what to do anytime you see an ExJw video. Not just mine. Anytime you see an ExJw video, you hit the like button and you leave a comment to help the YouTube algorithm show it to as many people as possible. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe. Check out the base of that brain you have in your head. Doing all its functions and looking good and smelling good. Oh, you have a terrific base of your brain. Now listen here. Nobody's giving out base of brain compliments, okay? That's just not happening. This may be your first and last base of brain compliment you ever get. So if you want to thank me, you can thank me by subscribing. Or if you already subscribed, just say thanks, Jay, in the comments. Anyway, let's get to the video. I want to talk about your brain today, okay? Because it's a function that's very, very important to waking up from your brainwashing. Okay? That didn't make any sense, but it's gonna make sense. Okay? You gotta know how the brain works, all right? You don't need to know everything about it, but you do need to know a couple very important things, okay? Your brain job is to keep you alive and breathing and banging each other so you can reproduce, you know what I'm saying? So your species won't die out. It's kind of the brain's job. Now, it's kind of funny because the brain doesn't really care if you're like happy. It just wants you kind of safe, you know? It wants you not stressed out, but it also doesn't really like, you know, like, oh, I'm so successful and everything's going great. No, because usually when it comes to success and that level of happiness, you have to endure a really prolonged period of stress and unsureness because that's where success lives. Success lives in that area where you have to go and get it. Nobody's going to give it to you. You got to do something new that isn't really like your thing, because if it was something that you could just easily do and everybody could easily do it, there'd be a lot more rich and successful people. So you have to go in that area where your brain is telling you not to go. You know what I mean? That same thing is how you leave the organization, because the organization know that your brain is trying to keep you happy and unstressed. You know what I mean? So in order to keep you in the religion, they need to make leaving the organization extremely sad and extremely stressful. Because not only will you have the battle against the watchtower, but you'll have an internal battle yourself with your body telling you, do you really want to go? I mean, you know how hard it's going to be? You have to turn your back on your family. Your people are well, they're going to turn it back on you. You know, you're not going to turn your back on them. They're going to be the ones who turn it back on you. But it's going to be so difficult. And if it's difficult, you're not going to be, you're not going to want to do it. It's not going to be one of those things whereas you could just do it and, everything will work out. No, it's going to be as unpleasurable and as difficult as possible, especially in the beginning. But the further you go along, the further you get away from them, the better it feels and the better and happier you'll be. But it's just those initial steps that they make so hard, because that's pretty much all they need to do. If they can make the initial steps hard, then that kills the momentum. And humans are, if nothing else, built for momentum. If you do something every single day, and then one day somebody's like, okay, let me ask you to do something you've been doing every single day, you can do it no problem. But if you got to do something for the first time, your brain is going to be like, whoa, you've never done this before. This could be dangerous. This could be scary. Things could fall apart. This may be the worst option ever. Are you sure? Especially if you're one of those people who suffer from anxiety. It's 100 times worse. But the thing is that they know that. They know that's how the brain works, so that's what they're after. They're trying to get you to, question everything and try to make leaving the organization as stressful as possible. It's not done because, we want to save your life. Like, really? No, if you wanted to actually save lives, if you actually believe that being a Jehovah Witness was the best and like the thing that actually saves people's lives, right? Then you'll have like website, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'd use the internet more to bring in new members. But the problem is you can't, because everybody has freedom on the internet. And if you have that internet freedom, you know the ExJw is going to be like, oh, you're going to have to run that by us. And this is the thing. If your message was actually good and on point, it wouldn't matter what ExJw say, because people could hear the message and be like, well, I've heard both sides and I'll choose to go with them. But people are not hearing both sides and going with the organization. They're hearing both sides and they're saying, wait, what did they do? They did what? This is why it's so important that people realize the amazing step they've taken anytime they leave that organization, because this is not just a feat that's just can be looked over. This is an amazing feat you've done. This is showing an extreme amount of strength and ingenuity and the ability to overcome and persistence. It shows all the good stuff. Everything that's good about a human. It shows you have what it takes to be successful if you want to, you know? But you got to get over that brainwashing and that anxiety about everything, questioning everything, questioning whether or not you can do it, questioning yourself and your abilities. That's all built in to make it harder for you to leave the organization, and it sticks around if you don't know about it. It has you questioning everything. Even after you leave the organization and you've gained the knowledge of, oh, this organization sucks, this is terrible, I don't want to be a part of it, I'm going to leave, I've left, boom, done. You'll think that you're like completely good and whatever, but you still question everything. You still question your ability to do things. You still question your ability to handle stuff on your own. Yeah, that's because all your life you've been probably told, like, you can't do anything without Jehovah. You can't do anything on your own. You can't do anything. Like, you'll get to the point where you're like, I don't even believe in Jehovah no more. But at the same time, you're still going to question your ability to do things, because that's what you've been told to do all your life. So when you leave and you're living your own life and you're the commander of your own life, you still question your abilities. You still question the thought process, your intelligence. You still question whether or not you can accomplish things that if you just do it, you'll see. And this is the funny part. Like, I'm the type of person who questions whether or not I'm capable of doing everything. Like, every single thing I'm questioning, can I do that? You know what I'm saying? I do it all the time. Even though 90% of the time, I'm capable of doing the things that I put my mind to. And I'm like, okay, I'm really going to try this. I'm going to stop BSing and I'm going to actually try this thing out, right? 90% of the time when I do that, it works out. But you know what part my brain remembers? It remembers the 10% of the time where I completely fell on my face. Like, see, told you, idiot. Told you not to do it, and you did it anyway. You big dummy. Because my brain is an a-hole. Like all of our brains. Our brains want us to remember all the times we were unsuccessful and forget all the times we were successful, because it wants to keep us in that comfortable spot. Like being a Jehovah's Witness, they make it very comfortable. They make it very comfortable. You know, just stay in, you go to your meetings, you do your, little stuff we ask you to do. By little stuff, I mean give up all your time, energy, effort, money, opportunities in the future, the little things. And then you can live forever in paradise. Yeah, it's coming. It's right around the corner, the circular corner. But anyway, the point is they get inside of your brain and they get you to believe that it's so comfortable. It's so easy to do. Just do that. It'll be great. You'll love it. And once your brain is used to that comfort, and once that brain is used to, not, taking chances and stuff like that, it wants to stay there. It doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to take new chances. Like, hey, look at here. We're eating. We're alive. There's no threat to our lives. We're going to stay right here. The only time your brain really searches for, newness is when your happiness is threatened. Like when you're a Jehovah's Witness and you leave that judicial committee and they tell you some crazy stuff, that's usually the one time you're like, man, I should leave this whole organization. if you still believe it, you be like, man, this is some bull. I should leave. There's no way this is God's organization. But the thing is that you have to be able to recognize what's going on. They've tried to make leaving that organization as difficult as possible because they don't want you to leave that organization. Because, you know, it's kind of nice getting free things from people, like, you know, their time, energy, and effort. It's nice. They seem to take a lot of pleasure in that. And I don't see them slowing that down or stopping anytime soon. But if you have the ability to leave, if you have the capability to set up your life in a way where you can comfortably, or not even comfortably leave, just successfully leave, you know, without compromising yourself too much. If you can set up your life and prepare your life to leave successfully, maybe not comfortably, but definitely successfully, do it. Rip off the Band-Aid. Just make sure you're going to have a place to live after you do, okay? I don't want you out here homeless or nothing like that. You know, it's kind of meaty. But either way it go, it's your boy, Jay the Comedian. I hope y'all having a great day. I'm having a great day. Holla at your guala. Deuces.